The world of celebrities is always evolving, and the latest headline about Justin Baldoni filing a motion for judgment on the Pleadings reminds us how stars not only live in the spotlight of their careers, but also navigate the complex realities of contracts, productions, and public expectations. Yet, beyond the legal jargon, what really captures our attention is who these people are and what journeys they have taken to arrive where they stand today. Because Justin Baldoni is not just an actor, best known for Jane the Virgin or for directing adaptations like It Ends With Us, he is also someone who has used his voice to promote empathy, vulnerability, and change in how men view masculinity. And it is this deeper impact that makes him stand out in a crowd of stars who often face headlines that focus only on their controversies or red carpet looks. And when we shift our gaze from Justin to someone like Blake Lively, we see another story of reinvention, resilience, and cultural influence. Because Blake went from being the glamorous Serena van der Woodsen on Gossip Girl to a Hollywood leading lady balancing family, fashion, and film with ease. And fans continue to adore her not only for her performances, but for her witty Instagram presence and her effortless style that constantly lands her at the top of best dressed lists. And then we think of Taylor Swift, whose career continues to soar in ways that feel almost mythical, as she crafts eras that define not just music, but the cultural zeitgeist, from country beginnings to pop domination to indie folk storytelling. She has proven that reinvention and authenticity are the keys to longevity in the spotlight. Her relationship with fans, her ability to turn personal pain into art, and her massive tours that break records worldwide all make her not just a celebrity, but a cultural icon. And when we think of stars like Justin Bieber, who started as a YouTube sensation, only to become a global pop phenomenon, we see the challenges of growing up in public eye, the struggles with fame and health, and then the inspiring turn towards stability, love, and family that resonates with fans who have grown alongside him. And his story mirrors those of many celebrities who faced turbulence yet came out stronger, like Selena Gomez, who not only became a music and television star, but also an entrepreneur and advocate, using her own struggles to shed light on mental health and self-love, inspiring millions around the world. And stories like these show us that celebrity lives are not just about the glitz. They are about real human journeys filled with ups and downs that inspire us to find strength in our own paths. And as we explore further, we see that stars like Beyoncé have gone beyond fame to define what artistry, leadership, and cultural influence mean. With every performance, she delivers empowerment and legacy. And with every project, she pushes boundaries for herself and for others, paving the way for new generations of women in music and beyond. And when we continue exploring the fascinating world of celebrities, we realize that what keeps fans so engaged is not only the achievements of these stars, but also the way they connect with the world around them. For instance, someone like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has built a career that transcends wrestling and acting. He has become a symbol of discipline, positivity, and hard work, sharing motivational posts with his fans while also creating blockbuster films that entertain global audiences. His journey from a struggling football player to the highest paid actor in Hollywood is a reminder that perseverance can turn setbacks into stepping stones. And then we look at someone like Zendaya, who went from Disney Channel fame to becoming an Emmy-winning actress and a global fashion icon. Known for her grace, intelligence, and advocacy for representation, she is not only a star of the screen, but also a role model for young fans worldwide. And her collaboration with major designers on the red carpet has made her a powerful voice in fashion, showing how style can also tell a story of empowerment and individuality. And when we reflect on other icons like Rihanna, we see the transformation of an artist into a billionaire entrepreneur, redefining beauty and inclusivity with her Fenty empire. Her decision to step back from music for years while focusing on business showed the world that success can take many forms. And when she returned to perform at the Super Bowl, she reminded everyone that her influence remains unmatched. And stars like Lady Gaga also demonstrate the balance between music, acting, advocacy, and fashion. Her rise was built on boldness and individuality, and today she uses her platform to champion kindness and mental health, while also delivering unforgettable performances on both stage and screen. And looking at actors like Keanu Reeves, who has become a legend, not just for his roles in The Matrix or John Wick, but for his humility, generosity, and the way he interacts with fans. We find proof that kindness is one of the strongest forms of star power. His reputation for living simply, giving back, and treating everyone with respect has made him one of the most beloved figures in Hollywood. And then there are global stars like Priyanka Chopra, who bridged Bollywood and Hollywood to become an international icon. Her career is a testament to breaking barriers, and she has used her fame to advocate for education and equality, proving that celebrity influence extends far beyond entertainment. And when we look beyond Hollywood into the global stage, we discover even more inspiring stories, like that of BTS, the South Korean supergroup who went from a small company debut to becoming one of the most influential music acts in history. Their message of self-love, resilience, and unity has resonated with millions worldwide, and their impact goes far beyond music, as they have spoken at the United Nations, partnered with global campaigns, and created a safe space for their fans known as ARMY, who feel deeply connected to their words and music. And then we can look at someone like Shakira, whose career has spanned decades, from her beginnings in Colombia to becoming an international superstar. Her iconic voice, dance moves, and dedication to philanthropy, particularly in education for children through her Barefoot Foundation, have made her a figure of both entertainment and inspiration. And in the sports world, athletes like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are more than just football legends. They are symbols of dedication, sacrifice, and excellence, each with humble beginnings that led to global stardom and countless records. Their rivalry has pushed them both to greater heights while giving fans unforgettable moments. And they too use their platforms for charity and community work, showing how athletic fame can fuel positive change. And when we think about powerful actresses like Jennifer Lopez, we are reminded of the value of reinvention. From her music career to acting to business, J.Lo has proven that longevity in the spotlight is possible when you embrace hard work, passion, and authenticity. And her performances, whether at the Super Bowl halftime show or on tour, continue to inspire generations. And then there is someone like Tom Hanks, whose reputation as one of the kindest people in Hollywood has made him beloved across the globe. His career is filled with iconic roles, but what makes him stand out is the way he treats people with warmth and respect, embodying the idea that true greatness lies not only in talent, but in humanity. And moving into another inspiring story, we have Malala Yousafzai, who, while not an entertainer, is nonetheless a global celebrity using her platform for education, advocacy, and peace. Her resilience in the face of adversity has made her one of the youngest Nobel laureates, and her collaborations with artists and celebrities highlight the ways in which fame can be used to amplify important messages. And as we continue this journey through the lives of celebrities, we cannot ignore the power of comebacks that inspire millions, like Robert Downey Jr., who went from public struggles to becoming Iron Man and one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. His story is a reminder that even the darkest chapters can be rewritten into triumph. And then there is Britney Spears, whose journey from teenage pop phenomenon to personal battles to reclaiming her freedom has captured the hearts of fans who rallied behind her in a powerful movement, proving that fans and celebrities often share a bond stronger than headlines. And when we think of actors like Matthew McConaughey, we see a star who shifted from romantic comedies to Oscar-winning performances, showing how reinvention can create a new legacy. And his work outside Hollywood as a speaker and advocate further cements his influence. And then there are legends like Madonna, who have reinvented themselves over decades, shaping music, fashion, and culture while constantly challenging the status quo and inspiring generations of artists and fans. And someone like Adele also shows us how vulnerability can be turned into strength through music. Her heartfelt ballads connect so deeply because they are authentic reflections of love, loss, and resilience. And her humility, despite global fame, makes her one of the most relatable stars in the world. And when we look at Will Smith, we see a career filled with blockbuster success, but also personal challenges that remind us celebrities are human too. Yet his journey continues as he seeks to balance lessons learned with future projects and healing. And then there's the inspiring path of Miley Cyrus, who transformed from her Hannah Montana roots into a bold, independent artist, finding her true voice and sharing it unapologetically with the world. And stories like these are why people remain fascinated with celebrities, because beyond the glamour and fame lies the universal truth that success often requires perseverance, reinvention, and courage. And that is why even newer stars like Timothée Chalamet resonate with fans. His artistic choices, charm, and authenticity make him a symbol of a new generation of actors who combine talent with humility. And as we move further into the world of celebrity journeys, we see how some stars shine, not just for their talent, but for the way they influence culture and inspire change. Like Beyonce, whose artistry has redefined what it means to be a performer and cultural leader. Her performances, from Coachella to the Super Bowl, are not just concerts, but moments of history, blending music, fashion, and powerful messages of identity, empowerment, and resilience. And she continues to use her influence to support education and equality, while balancing her career with family life, alongside Jay-Z, who himself is a symbol of transformation, from growing up in Brooklyn to becoming a billionaire business mogul, musician, and philanthropist. And their story together shows how love, ambition, and vision can create a legacy that spans generations. And when we look at stars like Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian, we see how they redefined celebrity in the age of social media, building massive empires in beauty, fashion, and entertainment, while also facing criticism and using it to fuel reinvention. And in contrast, someone like Emma Watson chose to use her fame from Harry Potter to become a voice for gender equality, serving as a UN ambassador and reminding the world that celebrity status can be harnessed for social good. And then we can see the story of stars like Chris Hemsworth, who rose from Australian soap operas to becoming Thor and an international action hero, while also staying grounded in his devotion to fitness, family, and philanthropy. His charisma and kindness make him not only a superstar, but a role model. And another inspiring example is Gal Gadot, whose journey from serving in the Israeli military to becoming Wonder Woman has inspired millions. She embodies strength and compassion both on and off screen, and her advocacy for inclusivity and empowerment has made her a beloved figure globally. And then there is Oprah Winfrey, whose story from poverty to building a media empire is a timeless example of resilience, vision, and compassion. She has shaped not only television, but culture itself, reminding us that true power lies in authenticity, generosity, and the ability to uplift others. And when we turn to the music industry once again, we find artists like Ed Sheeran, who began playing gigs in tiny pubs and uploading music online, and grew into one of the most streamed and successful musicians in the world through sheer passion and perseverance. His ability to write songs that connect emotionally with millions proves that authenticity never goes out of style. And as the stories of these stars unfold, we see how the connection between celebrities and their fans often becomes one of the most powerful forces in their journey, because fans are not only supporters, but also witnesses to growth, vulnerability, and triumph. Like in the case of Ariana Grande, who, after her rise to stardom, faced personal tragedies and challenges, yet came back stronger, using her music as a source of healing, both for herself and her fans. Her resilience and compassion turned her concerts into safe spaces filled with love and positivity. And in a similar way, someone like Shawn Mendes captured hearts with his soulful voice and humble personality, rising from Vine videos to global tours. And while navigating fame, he has been open about anxiety and mental health issues, encouraging fans to embrace self-care and vulnerability. And then there is Billie Eilish, who transformed the music industry at such a young age with her unique sound and authenticity. She has challenged beauty standards, spoken up about mental health, and created music that resonates with a generation seeking raw honesty and individuality. And in film, we see figures like Leonardo DiCaprio, who, after years of being the face of Hollywood heartthrobs, reinvented himself into one of the greatest actors of his time, while also becoming a passionate advocate for environmental issues. His voice carries weight, not just on screen, but also on the global stage, where he uses his platform to fight for climate change awareness. And then we look at Jennifer Lawrence, who went from Kentucky roots to Oscar-winning fame while remaining relatable and down to earth. Her candid personality has made her a fan favorite, proving that authenticity resonates as much as talent. And when we reflect on someone like Tom Holland, who embodies Spider-Man for a new generation, we see how a young actor balances the weight of global fame with kindness, humility, and dedication to his craft, creating a role model for younger fans everywhere. And beyond Hollywood, the world of sports has also given us inspiring figures like Serena Williams, whose dominance in tennis was matched only by her advocacy for women in sports. And her journey as a mother, athlete, and entrepreneur continues to motivate millions worldwide. And similar to her, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi have shown that success is built on endless dedication, training, and perseverance. Yet what makes them truly legendary is how they use their fame to inspire the next generation and give back through countless charitable initiatives, reminding the world that greatness is not only measured in trophies, but also in impact. And as we dive deeper into these journeys, it becomes clear that each celebrity's story is not only about fame, but about resilience, humanity, and the choices they make to turn their spotlight into something bigger than themselves. Like Rihanna, who not only became one of the world's biggest music icons, but also built a billion-dollar beauty empire with Fenty that celebrates diversity and inclusion in ways the industry had never seen before. Her impact reaches far beyond music, inspiring young entrepreneurs everywhere to dream without limits. And then we think of Beyoncé, whose performances are not just concerts, but cultural moments, blending artistry, activism, and empowerment. Her Super Bowl performance, her visual albums, and her philanthropy all showcase her dedication to elevating communities and shining a light on important issues. And then there's Oprah Winfrey, a figure whose journey from poverty to media empire remains one of the most inspirational stories in modern history. She has used her influence to build schools, support charities, and empower millions to live with intention and courage. And in a similar way, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson transformed his life from a struggling football player to wrestling superstar and eventually to one of Hollywood's most bankable actors. Yet what makes him beloved worldwide is his authenticity, his positivity, and his constant connection with fans on social media, sharing motivation, humor, and honesty. And when we move to someone like Zendaya, we see how a young actress grew into a global fashion icon, Emmy winner, and advocate for inclusivity. She is redefining what it means to be a star in the modern era, balancing blockbuster success with meaningful representation. And then there's Lady Gaga, whose career has been a roller coaster of reinvention and passion. Her raw vulnerability, her work in A Star Is Born, her advocacy for mental health and LGBTQ+ rights all show that fame can be a tool for healing and connection. And when you look at figures like Harry Styles, who broke away from the boy band image of One Direction and emerged as a solo artist, celebrated for his music, his fearless fashion choices, and his kindness, you see how evolution and self-expression are key to lasting influence. And similarly, BTS, the global K-pop phenomenon, showed the world the power of authenticity, teamwork, and fan dedication. Their message of self-love and resilience reached millions, breaking cultural barriers and making history on global stages. And when we continue with the journey of stars who shaped culture, it is impossible not to mention Madonna, the queen of pop, whose fearless reinvention, decade after decade, set the standard for what it means to push boundaries and control your narrative. She inspired generations to be bold, unapologetic, and true to themselves. And in contrast, yet equally iconic, is Taylor Swift, whose ability to transform her personal experiences into universally relatable art has made her not just a singer, but a storyteller of an era. Her journey from country roots to global pop superstar to re-record visionary symbolizes resilience and empowerment, and fans connect to her because she makes them feel seen and heard. And then there is Adele, whose voice carries raw emotion and honesty, winning hearts and Grammys alike. Her humility and humor, combined with her unmatched vocal power, make her one of the most beloved artists of our time. And shifting into the film world, we see figures like Meryl Streep, whose unmatched range and consistency turned her into a living legend, showing aspiring actors everywhere that passion and craft can build a career that transcends generations. And then someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, whose dedication to roles from Titanic to The Revenant, coupled with his relentless advocacy for climate change, demonstrates how celebrity influence can extend into urgent global issues. And when we look at Jennifer Lopez, we see a star who embodies reinvention and perseverance. From dancing on television to becoming a pop star, an actress, and a business mogul, she represents hustle, ambition, and the power of never giving up. And then Will Smith, despite ups and downs, has remained a figure whose charisma, versatility, and global appeal have inspired millions, reminding us that challenges and controversies do not erase decades of impact. They become part of the growth story. And similarly, Angelina Jolie, with her award-winning roles and her humanitarian work with the UN, turned her fame into a mission of compassion and change, highlighting the plight of refugees and displaced families around the world. And then someone like Keanu Reeves, whose humility, generosity, and resilience turned him into the internet's favorite star, shows us that sometimes kindness is the ultimate currency in Hollywood. And when we return to music, we cannot forget icons like Elton John, whose decades of timeless songs, combined with his activism for AIDS awareness, left an indelible mark on history.
If you love stories of inspiration, entertainment, and celebrity culture, this is the perfect video for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more engaging celebrity documentaries and updates.